Good to go. So this is round 2. I think, I updated the score. This is round 2 out of 3, I believe it is. Currently, Team Sleepy is up by one game. However, Team OP still has the chance to catch up.
You know, if they keep everything the same as last game, I could see them actually pulling through here because the points are closer.
Did you see that combo field there on red team? Look at that. Like, just all those buffs that went out there. We had Swiftness, we had Vigor go out, we had Might go out, we had Swiftness go out, we just had more Swiftness go out. And the blue team doing the same thing. It's a little bit less, and it was mainly Swiftness, but still nonetheless very nice. And again, we're going to see, looks like a stealth up here, maybe? Yes, I can't see it. But yeah, we're going to see a stealth up here, a stealth play. 3 of the members of Team Sleepy are stealth, and they're going to jump right on Skyrim, get burst into that. They actually do have a Necro in play now. I forgot to notice that as well. So again, they're going to try to counter the heavy conditions, or heavy boons over here on red team. And Skyrim gets bursted by a little bit of a stealth gank here, but it didn't go too well. He's still alive, and red team's actually taking a lot of condition damage at the moment. We're seeing here Ostrich Eggs just got destroyed. Shan is going to miss-stomp Skyrene, however, and get Ostrich Eggs back up. So nicely done there, a little bit of a miss-stomp. That's going to be a 75-second cooldown wasted. However, they're going to get him back up. And again, we just saw another member. Nothing has just gone down as well, and it seems Barrack General has gone down as well. Shan is going to move onto their point and take that back from them. So while blue team did have the initial point advantage, a very nice gank team fight there by Team Sleepy took it back.
Like a well-oiled machine. They want it. I like it.
Looking at Wacky Bruce at the moment, who's a pretty anti-Condi Guardian we're seeing here. Currently fighting in the middle, holding off. He's actually the only member of OP on this point. So he's doing a pretty nice job holding off. It looks like he has 3 aggressors on him. And we are going to see Skyrene come in here as well. So Condi's going to get thrown on the red team. However, Bruce is getting pretty low. He's going to go down now. He has team members coming in, but I don't know if they're going to be able to save him in time. He uses knockback. Lily did have stability, so that is unfortunately going to go off regardless. Looking at Lily's point of view now. Actually, I'm going to look at Ostrich Egg, see how his change in builds helping him here. Candace numbers. We are seeing pretty often, we're seeing a crit here and some pretty big numbers as well.
Yeah, the Guardian really was, his point was try to preoccupy that whole team as much as possible. And if there's gonna be any profession that does it well, it's the Guardian. So you can see they were able to take Waterfall in that meantime, and you can't let yourself get too targeted. You know, tunnel vision, because your other points are going to get taken.
So at the moment, we do have 3 fights going on. We have a middle fight that I believe is actually getting geared up a little bit here because blue team, well, they have capped it now, so I think they might want to get Wacky Bruce out of here. We still have a one-on-one, a Ranger on Ranger, so we are going to see who has the superior build here. Ranger on Ranger going on over here, Quarry. And then over at the Waterfall, red team has capped it, but Barrack Greenleaf is on his way out at the moment. He's pretty slow, so we might not get away. We're going to take a look at his point of view here. I'm actually going to look at Ostrich, see how he chases in the damage numbers he's putting out here against a pretty heavy Guardian. So actually, look at these Condis. He's putting them pretty nicely with the Condi numbers here. We're seeing 400s. He goes down, nicely done. Ostrich Egg is actually a pretty effective build here. And again, we're seeing the bombs being thrown on here, which is going to negate pretty much any chance of getting a res. Back over to Quarry, we still have this 1v1 going on. However, Cutie is going to be coming over to reinforce here over at the Quarry.
The main problem I see from that Guardian leaving that point was that he was going to die anyways as he was running, and he just basically transported the other team right to the fight.
So we saw there a failed play, but a nice play nonetheless. Cutie actually just tried to do a portal stomp. Now, for those of you unaware, he actually had started the stomp, threw down his portal, jumped through the portal to prevent any interrupts, and then came back. But he was able to get him up in the meantime because there wasn't really any damage going out. However, that was a nice play nonetheless. And
that was really cool.
So looking at Ovi, Ovi, again, not really the best choice here for Team OP. They're still going to fight this point regardless of Team Sleepy having a full cap going on here. Might want to back off this now. But nonetheless, it is their team, so it is their choice. Looking at the map here, we do have a bit of a team fight shaping up here in the middle. Ostrich Eggs was just stomped.
Waterfall completely unintended right now. Someone can ninja that, but there is going to be a lot of action here at middle. Bruce trying to keep the point, being a Guardian, doing the best he can, but he did go down just a moments ago, and he's trying to get rezzed up, but they're going to definitely just brute force him down rather than stomp. Red team going to be 2v2, I believe, right now. Actually, there's some people off the point. Blue is going to be definitely having some trouble staying on this point because red team, once again, has high offense, and they're not as defensive as I thought, blue team, because they're not able to stay alive, and they're securing stomps. That's the important thing, too.
I think Ostrich Eggs' new build is making an amazing difference in the early team fight here. It's just doing incredible amounts of condition damage on the other team, and he's got incredible just the boon-giving ability as well to his teammates, so it's really nice to see that in play here. I think he's actually made the initial difference in the starting game here.
Yeah, my guess is that this build was his ace in the hole. He was trying out something new, but he goes, you know what, I need to pull out the stops.
So that was nicely done. Looking at Lily. Lily is getting a bit low. She has her cooldowns about to come up. She's more likely going to be safe. However, she's getting a bit low now. She's going to be stomping down Brera Greenleaf. Again, that was the unfortunate part of choosing a little more of an offensive Guardian. He's going to be a pretty easy target, as offensive Guardians usually are, in my opinion, so they're going to force them off the point again. Currently, Team Sleepy is up by about 150 points, around that. They're up at 240 points right now. Meanwhile, Team OP is at 90 points, so they do have some ground to make up.
Yeah, one thing that I saw in that fight is that Skyrene, the Necromancer, was just on the ledge. He was able to put down a bunch of damage because he wasn't in the fight, but he's not trading some of his health. He's not contributing his health pool, let alone his Death Shroud, into that fight. And so that's why Blue is just going to have more focus fire on those people.
And again, look at Skyrene here. Skyrene this may not be the smartest move. Skyrene's in a very offensive position. You usually want to keep your Necromancers sort of back more, not really in this position. So if he doesn't get out of there soon, he's probably gonna get bursted down to AOE. Necromancers, in my opinion, are like warriors. You kind of gotta hide them at the beginning of the fight and then throw them in when the enemy's when they least expect it. So
well, I agree. The Death Shroud is just such a good way to stay alive and to generate some of that health for your team, so that as a team you have a bigger health pool, and it's capped right now, and he's not using it, which in my opinion is a little bit of a mistake.
Maybe you just want to get in there and try to soak up some of the damage. As we said that, he is popping. I don't know. As someone stream sniping. Anyway, our team's actually got a pretty healthy amount of conditions go out there, but we did just see it all get cleansed. Nice.
Yeah, look at all the conditions. That was some bursty conditions right there. They did whatever to cleanse it, though.
Just look at the conditions in general on the red team. They're not really staying on. They're going off pretty easily. Ostrogeg's getting hit pretty hard here. Barrack Greenleaf just got hit by a nice healthy bit. Like we're seeing here, red team, they're getting conditions on them, but they're not really staying. They're getting cleansed like pretty often. Meanwhile, in red team, they're sticking around for quite some time, as we're seeing here. So Greenleaf is down. They're going to throw down the Elixir Res as well as use the Sanctuary. They had to use 2 what I would call Res utilities there to get him back up, unfortunately. So they are at the disadvantage here in resing. However, let's see if they can still keep this up. Wacky Bruce also going down their bunker here for this point. That he is in his Sanctuary. They're gonna have to use every cooldown they got to keep him alive. And looks like Lily is still gonna get him down. Nice job there.
That was a big mistake on Blue's part. OP is hard because Ostrogeg was just sitting on the side, really low health, and he was able to regen health, and he's that big damage person that they should be worrying about. Yeah. They let him come back, get his heal back off, and then he was back in the fight, and there he is, still laying down all the conditions.
Yep. And Blue team, again, unfortunately has been pushed off this point. Looking over to Quar, we again have the Ranger versus Ranger fight. I believe we saw Red Team come out on top of that last time due to reinforcements. We're going to check back on that in a few minutes. We still have this play going on in middle here a little bit. It's sort of, oh, that is not what I want to click on. That's winding down a bit, Blue Team.
Yeah, they cleaned that up.
They cleaned that up pretty nicely. And Red Team's going to push their offensive now. Now, keep in mind, guys, for those of you new to Guild Wars, Red Team is now in a position, if they feel like, which they don't really need to because they're in a very safe position right now, to actually push for Lord and win the game that way. We usually see that at more even games as sort of a sneaky last stand choice. But they're in a pretty safe position, essentially having a pretty close to a 3 cap here now, so they really don't necessarily need to do that. If Blue Team was within the 350 point range, they might be doing that, but unfortunately for the time being, they really are not in a position to do so.
And Red right now, they're sleepy. They don't have the initiative to take the Lord. They're just going to sit on it,
They're just going to sit there and think about it for a little bit. So as we're seeing here again, actually we might see them do it because they're knocking down the gate now.
I haven't seen Ostrogeg. Man, living up to his name as a colorful man, he is laying down the damage.
Also,
absolutely, like he is full health and just cleaning up these people here on Quarry. He is going down, but like it's 2v3, so it makes sense. But he was able to hold it off and got them in the down state multiple times.
He's got the full color spectrum of conditions going on there. ZZ Folly is also going on, so it looks like Team Up B is going to reclaim this point. However, unfortunately for us, or unfortunately for them rather, Team OP is unfortunately going to lose this round as well.
Well, for Sleepy, it's pretty fortunate. I mean, we can't necessarily say
yeah, so Team Sleepy is going to take round 2. Update the score.
I'm going to be completely honest. If I saw Ostrogeg, like, in real life, I'd pretty much run. Like, he's got a kit of bombs. He's a colorful man. I don't know what his intentions are. Like,
if there was a bucket nearby, I'd throw money at him.
What's the story?
I think he's a street performer.
A dangerous street performer. That's the last performance you ever see.
He's got a gun and a weird shield.
I'd be like, hey, I'm never going to meet you again. Run at max speed the opposite direction.
All right, so let me run an ad. Let me run 2 minutes of ads real quick. Let me just see if they want to move on to do another one. They did say best of 3, but they might want to do another one now because it was 2-0. So give me another minute, run another 2-minute commercial, and give me just a second.